Hey guys, I made a new album again. I made 2 of them. They're EPs though, so I'm lying. This is the weirdest intro ever. Let's do this. Man, I look like I just woke up, which is true because I did. Okay, so I have a new album, 2 EPs, actually. I feel like albums is a better headline. Oh shit, look at the beverages. Let's hide those. Is this a good angle, guys? Let's rethink this. Okay, it's not very different, but it's an angle. So I have 2 EPs that came out. I just had a solo album come out, and then what is this? And why is the music so fucking different? Well, the reason it came together so fast is because these are old songs that I made in 2012. That was a long time ago. And that was during the time when I was really excited about stoner rock, doom metal, stoner doom metal. And I had this crazy sound that I just dialed in. It was a Zevex Fuzz Factory pedal into an orange Tiny Terror. And I moved into my first apartment. I thought, wow, this sounds sick. And I recorded some things with that sound, and I thought, this has got to be something. And then I made a song, and then I made 9, and then it was an album. And it was called Auto Apocalypse. As some of you might remember from back then, I had a channel called Auto Squeaky 1 where I've been posting since 2006, and there's a lot of doom stuff there. And I think people kind of remember, it's hard for me to say remember, and as people might remember, I did a lot of stoner stuff and people probably thought, what is all this Monic business now? And yeah, I made this album. The vocals are very just brutal, just like screaming. Kind of this like Phil Anselmo meets Bongzilla and black metal and some kind of grindcore. I don't know. I just like that guitar sound. It was a really weird sound. Something just hit me. Something just happened. I'd go down memory lane and I'd find the old Logic Pro sessions of Apocalypse and I couldn't open them because I don't have Logic Pro anymore. So then I just, like the seed of an idea came to my brain. It's like, man, there was some potential. And I'd go back to Apocalypse now and then. I've like revisited the song Promise from it. But I thought like now with the skills and knowledge I have now, what if this thing came back to life again? Because this is different. It's really heavy. I've never heard a sound quite like it before. So I thought this would be so cool if this came out again. And then I thought, okay, I don't have the most recent version of Logic Pro, so what can I do to open these sessions? So you know what I did? I went to the App Store, found Logic Pro, saw that it was kind of expensive to buy it again, but I thought about it, and I just thought, fuck it. Let's buy this thing. Just so that I can remix this. I made that decision, and then that was it. All in. It had to happen. And of course, my crazy brain tells me you have to make the whole thing. Yeah, you have to do it fast. So I chopped up all the songs to make them just sound better songwriting-wise. I remixed the whole thing. I remade all the drums. I rewrote the lyrics of the entire album because I thought they were really just cheesy and they just came out. I recorded all of the vocals again, and then I did some guitar layers with my Madamp GT1 amplifier. I did this in under a week, I think 5 days, and the whole fucking thing was done. And I got really tired. But, you know, 2012 Otto would be really happy, really stoked. Hey guys, I'm here now. Why? Just because I can. These are the drums, but you can't see it because my angle is shit. 2012 was a long time ago. There was a dude called Sam Anthony Mudd, a talented artist who made the album cover of the original Apocalypse record. And it had this demon that was scratching its chest, scratching its head, had a fireball. And it was kind of like in the style of Sleep Volume 1, if you know that album cover. And for this new version, I thought, how weird would it be if I just made the pose of the demon with the 4 hands and... So I did that, I don't know. So shout out to Sam Anthony Mudd. Even the Otto logo I used was by him, and I'm still using it. And it's cool. Yeah, so these releases might be a bit of this, like, what the fuck am I listening to, a kind of thing. And I had this thought kind of pop up now and then. It's like, man, are people really gonna care? Is this worth it? Is this gonna sustain my career at all? Is it too doomy? Does it still sound like the 2012 Otto, who's trying to sound all metal? I don't know. And it's such a different thing because You'll Get Through This was really kind of melodic, just much more songwriting and all this, but this one's just disgusting. There's just a lot of distortion on the vocals, no melodic vocals in sight. There's drone metal, if you know Sun. You know, there's a little bit of that in there. But it's interesting because there's some hardcore punk, there's some of the stoner stuff, there's a bit of the Bongzilla stuff too. And things that I feel like are truly kind of unique, like Promise and Hell Breaks Loose are really weird with the pinch harmonics. Pinch harmonics. Well, since I'm here by the drum set, I used the drum set on Cemetery Part 1 and 2 to kind of get this groovy drum feel, and I like to play the sleep sort of stoner doom drums a lot, so I got to do that because most of the time I just use the MIDI controller to play the keyboard drums or a mouse. That's how I make my drums. Now I'm here. This is a terrible angle. You can't even see the full logo. But look, if I do that, I'll be here. Let's go down like that. Okay, sweet. Recording Apocalypse originally was really weird. I didn't use a real bass when I made the album. I literally clicked every single note into place with a virtual bass on Logic. I don't know why I did that. I have no idea why I did that. I really don't know, but it was a decision. Maybe I thought that it sounded cleaner, and I was able to get some pretty cool sounds from layering this virtual bass with guitars. So I rolled with it, you know. Something you can probably notice is that Hell Breaks Loose, you can hear the pick noises. Because I was too close to the guitar cabinet when I recorded it in 2012, so you can hear all that there. It's just grimy, man. When I started remixing these songs, I thought I would take all the songs that aren't so out there, like the drone and this kind of stuff, and just make a nice and neat package of songs. But when those were done, I thought, well, what if there was a part 2? So then I made a part 2, and then I thought, why didn't I just make one album? I don't know. But it is what it is. There's Apocalypse, and there's Apocalypse Aftermath. So it's kind of like a double EP. The first album cover has kind of the color scheme of the original Apocalypse, with the blue vibes and the red demon Otto. And then I thought that Aftermath is just the opposite. And I feel like it kind of maybe describes the music a bit more, because honestly, when I made Aftermath, it turned out so much better than I thought. It's really fucking good. It's really good. Like the drone stuff. Aftermath was really exciting because the drone songs were originally, you know, they didn't have any vocals, they didn't have any drums really properly. So I made those into just kind of like songs now, like proper songs. And holy shit, like I'm so happy that I pushed to record the Mad Amp as a layer on those, because they're huge. They're huge. And here's the thing, no one's gonna care about those songs. No one's gonna give a fuck about the drone. But I just know that those are the best ones. The lyrics are cathartic as fuck. It's just fun. It's fun. I don't know. I don't really care. But I know those are I don't know, Cemetery Part 2 is probably my favorite out of all of these. Oh, and I gotta say that Apocalypse, that song, is actually a jam between me and my best friend we made during those times. It was when I got the Mad Amp and I just cranked it, I put the volume all the way up and we just jammed, and that's the song. Apocalypse is that jam. I think this version of Apocalypse is really brutal. Like the Fuzz Factory broken sound is super awesome. But honestly, I think what would serve Apocalypse maybe the most is like Mad Amp worship. Like just some sort of yob kind of vibe. I don't know. Maybe no pedals and just much more mids, and it was just an instrumental jam. These are my amps. Amps are cool, man. I've had these for a long time, and I've had this the longest. This is the Orange AD30. And this is the Madamp GT1. But I made some layers for Apocalypse Aftermath with this guy. No pedals, nothing. It sounded really cool. It kind of had this like low mid rumble. And it reminds me of like Sun Records, you know? No pedals, just a layer, and it turned out really sick. You don't see these guys a lot because I use them in my band Kaiser. I think the fun thing about the Madamp is that it says Weed Dragon 5000 on it. And it has my name. Like, me and my best friend made this little sketch when an orange amp arrived. It had all these boxes. And the bass player of Bongzilla's, like, nickname was Weed Dragon. So we thought, how cool would it be to have, like, a custom amp that says Weed Dragon 5000 on it. And then it has the brackets, the sun brackets, you know? And we did this little sketch. It was hilarious. And then we had this joke, which is like, imagine if there was actually this custom built amp that said Weed Dragon 5000 on it. Like, actually. So I did it. When I got the Madamp, kaboom. Weed Dragon 5000. Why does it say my name on it? I don't know. That's really stupid. That's so stupid. What else to say? Apocalypse was really cool. It was a cool time. When I recorded it originally, I made one song and then it became an album and I was exhausted because I couldn't stop working and I wanted to see the damn thing done. Remixing and recording lots of parts again for this, I just kind of knew that this is exactly where it's gonna go to. And yeah, that's what happened. I got really tired, but it was worth it. It was worth it. So yeah, it's a little bit different, you know, from You'll Get Through This, but as I said, don't expect anything when it comes to music from me. I got a lot of weird things in the works, and I like to do lots of different things. I don't know what it is about Apocalypse, but I keep coming back to it. All these years later, I just felt like I had to act on it. Like I had to do something. So I did that. I polished every single song, and the whole fucking thing is done. And at this point, I've polished the living hell out of it. I know I have a lot of nostalgia attached to this, and I have no idea what you guys are going to think about it, but something pulled me to remake this. Something pulled me to this direction to remake this thing. And there's something about it when I haven't listened to Apocalypse in a while, and I went back to those songs, I thought, man, this is really fucking good. I don't know, there's just a part of me that feels like more people should have heard it. More people should have heard that. And I try my best to just make it sound like, you know, it's just a proper release. And I have many sides to me musically, I feel like. 2006 Otto was all about jump the fuck up and nu metal. 2012 Otto, like around that time I was the doom nut. The fucking doom nut. The hell is that? But you know, I just want to acknowledge that side of Otto too. Is like I have that doom side as well, you know. I did nothing else for so many years. I just knew every part of Sleep's Dope Smoker. Like I could play the drums, the guitars, the bass, do the vocal style and everything. Like Sleep's Dope Smoker was my Bible. You have no idea. You will never understand how important Sleep's Dope Smoker, that sound, was to me. You will never know how important that sound was and how obsessive I was about that sound. And still am. Just recording the Madamp stuff, it just takes me to a weird place. Just hearing those drones, those sounds. I think those two things, like a really, really good stoner doom sound and System of a Down's Toxicity. Like, those are the shit. I think that honestly wraps it up. So go check out Otto Apocalypse and Otto Apocalypse Aftermath. They have been released digitally, and the links to the EPs are down below. You can find the files and the high quality files in Patreon, listen through Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Tidal, Deezer, YouTube Music, motherfucking everything. And I hope you enjoy it. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into this. 2012 Otto worked really hard on making those guitars and virtual bass tracks, and the 2025 Otto worked his ass off to polish those lyrics and record the vocals again and do those drums proper. Fix the songwriting a bit. There's two very sleep-deprived Ottos that worked on this. And there's always going to be things that bother me about the mixing. Maybe I'll revisit it again in 20 years, who knows. Oh my god, I don't want to be the next Star Wars with this thing. Apocalypse Wars. I'm totally pulling one of those Star Wars things, right? Like revisiting the old... I think this one had to happen, but maybe I shouldn't revisit Apocalypse a third time. Maybe I'll add CGI to it too. Hope you enjoy the albums. Sorry, the EPs, the double EP. And have a stoner doomy time. And an awesome day, peeps. Goodbye.